What's up, folks? Welcome to the Combat Fighting Channel. My name is Han, and we're doing an interview here with Bety Rodriguez. And this is in promotion of a fight that's upcoming, February 15th in 2 weeks. It's going to be Fight Night 24 with Legendary Fight Promotions. Bety is fighting Ellie, I believe, right? Is that still the case? Because I know there were some changes.
It is the case. I was supposed to fight Melissa.
Melissa, right. Okay, cool. All right, so now you're fighting Ellie because something happened with the first matchup, and now you're fighting Ellie. So again, this is Bety Rodriguez. Am I saying it right?
Yes, that's my maiden name. Bety Olson is my...
Bety Olson, okay, because I'm seeing two names. So should we go with Bety Olson or Bety Rodriguez?
We can go Olson.
Olson, all right. So this is Bety Olson, and I believe your fight name is Big Mama.
Mama Bear.
Mama Bear. Sorry about that. I saw your fights a couple of times in the United Gala. So Mama Bear. All right.
Yeah, Mama Oso.
Mama Oso. Okay. Mama Oso?
Yeah.
Okay, not Olson.
It means Mama Bear.
Okay, all right, cool. So Bety, we're gonna start with a couple of basic questions, okay? But based on the audience feedback, what they want to know is a couple of things. I'm gonna read what we're gonna talk about, and then we'll just go from there, okay? Kind of the outline. So the audience wants to know what you plan to do in the ring, what you expect from the fight, and where do you think the strengths lie in your fighting ability and your opponent's fighting ability. And also, in the end, we're going to talk about how your time has been with the gym, your fight career, how it's been, why you did it, and all that stuff, okay?
Of course.
So, those are the topics, but let's now start with the beginning. Let's do it in reverse. I was reading the outline that was sent to me. Let's do it in reverse. Okay. Let's start with the beginning. So, you started fighting at the United Gala, right, for the first fight, I think it was?
I fought in Seattle my first time. United Gala was my second fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning. What got you into Muay Thai, and why?
Mental health.
Mental health?
I've always needed to work out really hard for my mental health, and I stumbled onto Muay Thai. I started doing their boot camps, and once my schedule allowed, I was invited into my team, and I've been training ever since.
Mm-hmm.
I was about 39 when I started.
39, okay. And right now, how are you? Like, you're probably my age, I think.
I'm 42.
I'm 43, yeah, okay, so you're about my age. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm telling you this as a good thing, right?
Yeah.
When I first met you, you were definitely a little bit bigger. Your face structure was more, I guess, round, you can say.
Yeah.
You probably know this yourself too, right? But now you're more chiseled, I can tell.
Yeah.
Like your muscle mass your body has changed a lot in the past 3-4 years. Like
Definitely.
I would
able
say
to do things I couldn't do before. I mean, my agility has gone up, which is very unexpected. I didn't expect it at my age, but the way we train and how hard we work, my body's just been becoming younger, really. So.
Yeah, really. That's what it is, right? Because because you and I are the same age, roughly, we're going through the same kind of things. In the late 30s, you can't eat the same things you want without suffering the next day, and weight gain and stuff like that. Like I can't eat a pizza anymore and not suffer like some fat gaining in my belly and stuff like that, like a whole pizza kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But you can still work it off. At this age, I believe that you can still work it off. You can still recover. It just takes a little bit longer. Like
you have to be smarter about it. And me being a coach is my experience of how I have to train and how I have to nurture my body really helps me with my students. So help them out too.
So since we're on topic, so for someone in the late 30s, because you really did a big turnaround in your physique, right? Like I'm not saying you're out of shape before, but like now you're in tip-top shape, I'd say.
Yeah.
So it's very.
Well, I had my last kid. I had about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So,
oh.
Yes.
So you started training Muay Thai like what, 2 years after your last kid?
I started about.
Uh-huh.
Started. I'm 42, 39, about 3 years. Yeah, about 3 years after my last kid.
Mm-hmm. So when you had your kid, right? How was the recovery for that? Because I know for my wife it was at least a year before she was fully recovered, you know, kind of thing.
It's definitely, and treat your body so differently. It changes so much. So you have to be really careful. You have to just be really smart and do a lot of accommodations and modifications.
Hmm. So what can you tell me about those accommodations and modifications that you did to accommodate, well, for one, changing your life, changing your body, changing your timeline, everything
Yeah.
altogether?
Yes, a lot of it was modifying things like ab exercises or making sure I was being kinder on my knees, sort of thing. Your joints, everything just gets real loose when you have a baby. So it takes a little while for everything to kind of come back to being stable and in place like they used to be.
Hmm. So in terms of like the average curve, right? Were you kind of in the slower end of recovery or the quicker end, you think?
With my second kid, I was in the quicker end because I was able to keep working out through almost most of my third trimester. I was hitting pads. I was doing the boot camp, but it was really interesting. The bigger I got, being pregnant, the stronger I got. So I got to feel that difference as well.
Oh, interesting.
Your strength increases.
So when you say the stronger you got and the bigger you got, can you give me the range of weight here?
I probably gained about, I would say, 25 pounds maybe on my last kid, 20 pounds, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. And what are you fighting at this week, in 2 weeks?
160 to 168
Okay.
with my new opponent.
Mm-hmm. And is that a very comfortable weight for you?
My walking weight is about 165. I was supposed to fight at 155 with Melissa, but since that got canceled, my new opponent agreed to fight me 3 weeks out. So we're going to shift the weight range for her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you got to Muay Thai mainly because of, I guess, fitness and mental health, right?
Correct.
Fitness, it obviously from the results, it's been successful. Now, mental health. Can you tell me more about that? Like, what kind of struggles were you going through in your head? Was it more just, I don't know, you tell me. when you say mental.
At the time, I was a family therapist. So I was working with families, mostly with teenagers, a lot of immigrant families, because I'm from Mexico, I speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to see a lot of really hard things, families going through very hard situations. So being able to have a physical output for that was really, really important for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so that was the past, right? And
Yes.
and you said you've been going through it. How many fights have you done so far?
I've done 4.
2 in the gala, was it? Or 1?
2 in the gala.
2 in the gala, okay. Mm-hmm. So you did your first one in Seattle.
Yes.
2 were the gala. Were they back-to-back in the gala, or was it some other fight in the middle?
It wasn't a fight, it was a sparring event. It was a smoker.
Yep. And was that between the gala, or was it afterwards?
Yes, between the galas.
Okay, so the last fight you had was at the last gala last year.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Now let's talk about the fight coming up, okay?
Okay.
Now going into the fight, you've had a year roughly, approximately, since your last fight. The last fight you won.
Yes.
And was it by knockout? The first one was, I think, by stoppage, but the second one.
The first one was TKO.
Yeah, it was like TKO. The second one it went the full way, right?
It did.
Yeah. So between the first and second fight, let's talk about the second fight, because the first fight you got TKO. That one you're probably very happy about.
The second fight I did not win. The third fight was the one I won. So
Right. Okay.
I'm 2-1 right now. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But you won both at the gala, right? Was it?
No, I didn't win the first one.
Okay.
I gave it to the other girl.
Okay. Right. This is going back in memory here. A lot of events have happened. So the second one.
I did have a really cool moment though, because I punched my opponent and she flipped around. So
Yeah, I remember. That's what I remember. I thought you won it because I remember there was something that happened there. But all right.
Yeah.
So you lost that fight. That's okay. What did you learn from that loss? Like, why do you think you lost, and what did you learn from it?
It's really interesting because at the time I was the tallest fight team member, and my opponent at that time was taller than me. So it was I had never really encountered a taller person. So it was definitely a learning experience. I learned that I needed to get better at my clinch and work a lot more on that, which I have. And my opponent in this fight is actually taller than me, a lot taller than me. So it's going to be kind of like my comeback against a taller opponent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess as a shorter opponent, you're down low, looking for the openings up high, right?
Yeah.
The first time you said you didn't expect that, so it was new to you.
Yes.
What have you been doing to train for that scenario, seeing how it's happening again?
I have been working on my clinch, working on being low, working on my my punching, my coming in, creating openings, and my opponents have been kicking me high a lot. So I mean my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been great.
Are there a lot of tall guys or tall girls to spar with?
Now we do have some taller people. So
Okay,
that
so
has been very helpful.
that definitely helps. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, going in now you have some fights under your belt, some time to train. What do you think your strengths are going into this fight? And how do you think it's gonna how do you think it's gonna happen in your head?
I think I have a lot of grit. I don't give up. I just keep going. I have a lot of power, so I'm gonna use that for sure. And I've been working on my cardio, so
Mm-hmm. That's great.
mainly what I'm gonna.
Do you think it's gonna go the whole 3 rounds?
5 rounds.
Five? Oh,
That's the
sorry,
title fight.
I thought it was 3
Yeah.
rounds like last time. Okay, so 5 rounds.
Well, I'm hoping I could get a knockout in there, but I'm ready for 5 rounds.
Okay.
My body's definitely ready for that.
So Ellie, it's a new challenger right now.
Yes.
Do you know each other?
I've seen her fight. I've actually been a judge in some of her fights.
Oh, interesting. So, that being said, what do you think her strengths are? And how she performed in her previous fights?
She has really nice quick kicks, and she can just whip them out. So that's definitely something I'm going to be watching for.
Mm-hmm. And in the previous fight that you judged, did she win or did she lose?
I believe, if I remember, I don't think she won that one
Mm-hmm.
that I judged.
How long ago was that fight?
It must have been a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay,
maybe
so
even 3 years ago. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've seen her.
right. So I guess the assessment isn't relevant anymore because so much can happen in that time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but at least you know her physique, right? So she has
Yes.
strong legs. That's probably not going to
Yes.
disappear randomly. Yeah.
And quick. She's quick.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna see a lot of kicks, knees, teeps, things like that.
Probably.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna record the fight, so it's gonna be really fun to play it back and see what happens.
Yep.
Now, so those are the ones that were requested for me to ask. Now it's for me to just do open questions, which is where I like it. So Betty, when you went to Muay Thai, you wanted to improve mental health and physical conditioning and all that stuff. You have 2 kids, 6 and 8, you said.
Yes.
And like I was saying earlier, I know from I have 3 kids. My personal experience, that time is hell because they're just not independent. They're always just
Yes.
using your time. You might get lucky with
Yes.
2 like angel kids, like some people have, but I didn't get that. How are your kids? Are they like easy? Are they difficult?
They're very high energy. They're amazing kids.
Yeah.
They're really, really good kids. They get along great. They don't fight that much, but they destroy everything together.
Yes.
So that's the challenge for me. And they have a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm. How are you balancing the time with do you have babysitters? Like, do you take it on yourselves? How are you balancing
They're
that time?
involved. I just make sure we are almost, they grew up at the gym. So they're part of the family there.
Mm-hmm.
They both take Muay Thai. I actually am the coach for one of them, my oldest, my 8-year-old. And they love to come and cheer and participate. They like to time. So I just make sure that they're involved and that they can see how strong their mom is. I think that's a very important thing for them to
Right.
grow up with.
And when you say the gym, it's Pure Fitness Bellingham, right?
Yes, Pure Fitness Martial Arts.
Martial arts, okay, with Crew Book. So tell me about this. Tell me about the gym. I mean, you've been there now for a while. How's it? First of all, before you went to the gym, right? How did you get in contact? How did you find them? How did you find Crew Book? Like, what led you to that gym in Bellingham?
They actually had just opened when I found them. I had just had my first kid. he was maybe 2 months old. He was a baby, and I wanted to get back into doing something. So I found them online. I went to check them out, and I took their free class. And then I learned that my kid had to be 4 months to be able to be in the daycare. So then I just counted down the days till I could go in and start doing their boot camp in the mornings.
So you and Crew Brook are like buddies now, I believe, based on what I know.
Yes, we're
So
really close.
how's that relationship been for you guys? Like, can you tell me about your experience growing with the gym? How it's been?
She's also a mom and a family person, so we are both very good about compartmentalizing our lives. When we're at the gym, she's ma'am or Crew Brook. When we're outside, then she's Brook. So we are, we make sure that we keep those things separate. It's very, I think part of Muay Thai is respect and just the importance of making sure that you're following the art, you're training, you're like it's not a buddy thing. So we're very good at doing that. For sure.
Cool. So going forward in time, right? You're likely going to stick at this gym, I believe. You're like,
Yes,
okay.
100%.
Yep. And I guess your future goals, right? What are they? Tell me about it.
I would like to get as many fights as possible in before I can't do it anymore. I would love to do a tournament. And I think becoming a coach has been very helpful for my career in fighting. It makes me train harder. I want to be a good example for my students. So I feel like it pushes me to be better.
So you train your students. Is it like a 5 days a week type thing you train, or is it like 3 days a week? Tell me about your schedule.
Yes. I teach all the boot camps in the morning, and I teach the kids in the afternoons 3 times a week, and I teach the morning beginner class once or twice a week.
So are there any difficulties in that process? Like, do you enjoy it fully? Are there any things that you don't like about it that you want to improve?
I really enjoy it. I'm much better at, like, I have to kind of spar with you or hold mitts for you to tweak things that you need to improve. So I would like to get better at doing it just by sight instead of having to feel it. So that's one of my goals right now, for sure.
I see some of the contenders for the Fight Night 24, Muay Thai Fight Night 24, are online coaches. Do you guys do any of that stuff?
Online coaching?
Yeah.
No, we haven't yet. It's in the works. We're hoping to maybe get an app out there and kind of keep expanding and reaching more people around us, because we have all learned the benefits of this sport, so we want to definitely reach more people.
I also want to ask you, we talked about Muay Thai a lot, right? So outside of Muay Thai, what are your hobbies? Do you do like other sports, anything like that? Like hobbies, bowling, I don't know.
Anything outdoors. I love going on the trails, biking. My kids and I bike them to school every day.
Oh, nice.
So anything up the mountain, it's about an hour and a half to get to the mountain to do sledding or whatever. So definitely stuff like that, camping, anything outdoors.
Yeah, I basically Googled Bellingham to see what there is to do there. That's all I care. It's all outdoors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was questions that were, what is there to do in Bellingham that isn't hiking? And there was not many options, I think. A lot of it was hiking, kind of like here in Alberta, right? So
Yeah.
it's cool. I enjoy that a lot, and it definitely helps the physique. I find 2-hour hikes, about there, 2.5 hours is kind of my sweet spot before I start feeling annoyed. So I find that's really healthy for me. Once a week, if I do that for like the whole summer, I'm in super fit mode at that point. It doesn't take a lot, I think, as long as you know how to condition yourself.
Right.
So for yourself, right? The old you and the new you, what do you think are the biggest differences? Like the before Muay Thai you and the after Muay Thai you, right? What do you think are the key differences?
A lot more focused discipline. That's helped me in different areas of my life, and just the compartmentalizing, like I said, has helped me as well, because like I said, I used to be a family therapist, so leaving those different areas of your life separate has helped. And just being able to see people grow has been amazing. Not only myself, but the people around me.
So the family therapist stuff, right? Are you still practicing that, or are you totally just done that and just doing Muay Thai?
I'm not right now. I'm just financially, it didn't make sense to go back to work, so I'm a stay-at-home right now with the kids, and just being very involved in their school. And I'm actually starting a new business, teaching mommy and me classes and more kind of community outreach type stuff to get more people, to get fitness available for more people.
So when are we going to be seeing that, and where are we going to be able to reach you?
I'm actually going to be, it's going to be affiliated with the gym in a way, and with Pure Fitness Martial Arts. It's going to be called FAM Fitness, and it'll start in 2 weeks. So I'm excited about that.
Cool. So when I see you,
my fight.
so when I see you on the 15th, right, or 14th?
Yes. Yes, 15th.
It would already have been. Well, the weigh-ins are the 14th, is it?
Yeah, the weigh-ins are the 14th.
I'll be there too, so I'll see you guys at the weigh-ins also. So by then, are we gonna have that up? You think? And
yes, it should be the first week it's up.
Okay, so we can talk about that, and maybe do a preview of that in 2 weeks. Okay?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So speaking about 2 weeks, right? You have 2 weeks until the fight.
Yes.
What are your plans for the next 2 weeks?
Hit it really hard. Make sure I'm rehabbing appropriately. Get in those ice baths. Get in those hot tubs. And then just keep working on my fight plan.
Yeah, Bety, it's gonna be great. Looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. I've seen you fight twice already in Canada, so it's really cool to see you fight in your home territory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull those fights up and piece it into the interview if I can. It is with WKA, so sometimes there's a bit of clashing with things I post. But it's been a while now, so I don't think anyone's gonna care now. It's not like I'm posting it like a day after the fight kind of thing.
Right.
So I'm gonna post it up, and if anyone complains, then we just ignore them.
Okay.
All right. So we put it up. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So 2 weeks, we're gonna see each other. I'm looking forward to seeing the fight. Looking forward to meeting you again in person, because I always enjoy seeing you guys. And I really appreciate you taking the time to take this interview, because it's great to see how you're doing. The fans want to see it. The audience wants to hear about what's happening in your life. And it's going to be a banger of a fight on Fight Night 24 in Bellingham, Washington.
I'm definitely excited. Yeah.
So what are your plans for the rest of the day?
Get a lot of work done and then go train tonight.
Cool. So before we end it, right? Anyone you want to thank? Any closing comments you want to put? Any messages for Ellie? Anything like that?
I honestly want to thank her for taking this fight. I'm very excited that she did. I'm excited that it was a last minute change, so it's kind of more, the adrenaline goes higher. And I'm very thankful for my coaches, Coach Tony, Crew Brooke. They're just like my family and my team. So I'm very excited to make them proud by doing my best.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So I guess I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. All the best in the training leading up to it.
Thank you.
Okay, Bety, thank you for your time. See you later. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.